Do you ever try to remember something from long ago but feel unsure if it really happened? Lots of people deal with this. It's because our memories can get mixed up by different things, like suggestions or wrong information. Sometimes, our brains can trick us by making up memories that never actually occurred. For instance, in one study, people were shown a fake picture of themselves as kids in a hot air balloon. After a while, some of them started to believe they had actually been in that balloon, even though it never happened. Their brains made up a story around the fake photo, and the made-up memory felt just as real ones. This shows how our minds can fill in the blanks in our memories with believable but made-up details, making us believe things that never really took place. Our brains are super complicated, and they sometimes do interesting tricks that make us see and understand things in ways that might not be totally true. Can we use these tricks to our advantage? Definitely. If you want to learn how, check out this video and subscribe to our channel. There are two important times when our subconscious minds are wide open: when we wake up in the morning and when we go to sleep at night. It's like a fancy dance of brain chemicals and body rhythms. When we wake up, our bodies start a sequence of events triggered by light. Chemicals like serotonin gently wake us up, and our brain waves change from slow to fast, gradually making us fully awake. When we go to sleep at night, the opposite happens. Our brain waves slow down and we relax into sleep. But for many people, stress and busy thoughts keep their brains in a fast state even when they're trying to sleep. Their minds keep racing, keeping them awake and their subconscious locked away. But let me tell you where the real magic happens. In the morning, when we're in the alpha or theta state, our thinking slows down, and something amazing occurs. The door between our conscious and subconscious mind swings open. The only thing in the way is our busy, thinking mind. As we calm it down, we gain the power to teach ourselves new habits, new ways of thinking, and new ways of living. Think about how most people start their day nowadays. An astonishing 86% of folks grab their phones right away, diving into a digital world filled with stuff they already know. This brings up a question, not because I want to control what people do, but because I want to spark some thinking. These gadgets remind us of things we're already familiar with, which activates certain parts of our brains connected to people, stuff, places, and feelings. When we react instantly to what's around us, it's like our surroundings are pulling the strings of our thoughts and feelings. We end up being controlled without even realizing it. Something is quietly teaching us how to think and feel. It's not necessarily bad, but it's worth asking. Can we start our day in a better way? Instead of reaching for the phone right away, why not use that special time when our minds are open to teach ourselves positive new habits? Why not practice being kinder to our loved ones, handling work situations better, or dealing with everyday problems more effectively? Is there a way we can grow from our experiences? If we're serious about getting better every day, we should see each morning as a chance to learn and improve. Can we react differently to people and situations? Can we pay attention to our automatic thoughts and avoid falling into old habits? Can we keep a positive attitude and become active players in our own lives? This transformation doesn't start when we look at our phone screens. It begins the moment we wake up, often with our minds stuck on past problems. These problems are like memories carved into our brains, tied to specific people, things, times, and places. When we dwell on them, we're stuck living in the past. So if you're stuck only thinking about how you feel and believe your thoughts shape your future, dwelling on past problems will keep you stuck in the past. Your thoughts are like your brain's language, and your feelings are like your body's language. How you think and feel determines how you are. So, if you can't move past your current emotions, if you're letting outside things control how you feel and think, then you've become a victim without realizing it. Your life will keep going in circles because your thoughts and feelings stay the same. Basically, being a victim of outside stuff means you're letting those things decide how you feel and think, keeping you stuck in the same place. It's like a never-ending cycle, and the way to break free is to change how you see things. The idea here is that if we change how we think and feel, we can make changes in our lives that show we're in charge of our own futures, not just stuck dealing with whatever happens. To do this, we have to rise above the limits set by outside events and react differently to them. When this happens, we start seeing results that seem like luck, but are actually because of the choices we've made. Each person's brain is like a map of everything they've experienced and learned in their life, both mentally and emotionally. These memories and emotions affect how we react to people, situations, and places. For many people, this makes them feel helpless because it seems like outside things control their lives. Our goal is to challenge this by changing how we think, act, and feel. This means facing life's ups and downs with more awareness and not letting outside things control us. Instead, we take time to think about how we want to react to life's challenges. This is basically what meditation is about. Meditation isn't just about focusing on how we want to think, act, and feel. It's also about recognizing what we don't want to think, act, and feel. Surprisingly, about 95% of what we do every day is controlled by habits we're not even aware of, making it easier to go back to our old ways than to keep changing. But changing this can help us shape the outcomes we experience, which is the exciting part of taking control of our lives. The most important relationship you can have is with yourself. Taking time to think deeply, ask big questions, and look inside without distractions can change you in big ways. Thinking deeply actually changes your brain, making new connections. Personally, I've always been really curious, wanting to understand the big mysteries of life and spirituality. I never planned to go on this journey, but life surprised me. I believe in making things up as we go, taking chances, and learning from them. I was living to get approval from others, and it made me feel disconnected from myself. During meditation, I got a clear message: stop doing the same things and take a break. I didn't fully understand it then, but I knew it was time for a change. I had become someone I didn't recognize, trying to be who others wanted me to be. Feeling this way inside pushed me to grow and make different choices. My main rule has always been to live out what I teach. If I can't truly live by these principles, then I shouldn't be teaching them to others. So, I decided to make my life match up with who I really am and what I believe in. For me, this meant stepping back from the life I knew. People around me talked about how much money I could make, but I realized that money wasn't what drove me. I cared more about feeling happy inside and staying true to myself. So, I made a big choice to take a break for 6 months. During that time, I decided that if I came back into the world, it would be on my own terms. I promised myself not to fall into the same traps I had before. My goal was clear: to live out the principles I cared about and inspire others. The main message I've always talked about is change, and I've chosen meditation as the way to help make that happen. The aim is for people to really get to know their old selves so well that they can break free from old habits and make new identities for themselves. But it's way easier to forget this goal and go back to how things used to be than it is to stick with change. However, if we keep reminding ourselves, we can train ourselves to always remember and live out this new way of thinking. Think about it. Every day when we wake up, the people we see, the situations we're in, and the technology we use all affect how we think and feel. Our surroundings usually shape our thoughts and feelings because our brains have built connections for every person, thing, or situation we've come across. So, our environment has a big influence on us. To break this cycle, we have to get away from the hold our old memories and emotions have on us, tying us to old habits. Change can feel strange because when we make different choices, we're stepping into unknown territory, away from what we're used to. Our bodies, used to the old ways, try to pull us back to what we know. That's why change can be scary for a lot of people. Meditation helps us get to know both our old and new selves better. The goal is to get to a point where we don't forget, but instead, we remember the moment we decided to change. With the right tools and regular practice, people can really enjoy this journey of transformation. Without a clear idea of what we want for the future, we end up being controlled by memories of the past, stuck in a loop of doing the same things over and over again. Our surroundings shape how we think and feel, keeping us stuck in our old ways. That's why it's so important to break free from this cycle, go beyond what we know, and take charge of our own futures. Our environment includes things, places, people, and our own bodies. It's all very material, isn't it? But here's something interesting. When we're excited or stressed, we tend to focus more on what's happening outside of us and less on our inner thoughts and feelings. This heightened state makes our bodies release chemicals as we try hard to get rid of any feelings of threat or stress. And time becomes really important in this state. Here's what happens. Your body grabs your attention, your surroundings grab your attention, and time grabs your attention too. But here's something really important. True change happens when you go beyond your body, beyond what's around you, and beyond time itself. Let's think about this. When people feel like they're just trying to survive, they're not really in a mindset where they can create things, learn, think deeply, or meditate. Survival instincts are deep inside us, telling us to stay safe from danger. It's a time when we're not really open-hearted, when we don't connect with others deeply, and sometimes we're not even in the mood to eat. People often find themselves stuck in this cycle of waiting. They wait for things outside of them to change so they can feel better. Things like fear, anxiety, frustration, impatience, and more. These feelings stick with them every day, and even though they're uncomfortable, they hold on to them because they're familiar, and familiarity feels safe. In survival mode, the unknown feels scary, so people avoid it. Now, let's switch gears to a different way of looking at things, the world of quantum physics. In this world, an atom, the tiny building block of everything, is mostly made of nothingness, or energy if you prefer. Yes, that's right. Deep down, we're made of energy. This isn't just a guess. It's been proven by science that over 99% of an atom is pure energy. And what does energy carry? Information. So, think about this. The world we see as solid and real is actually made up of energy and information, and we can only see less than 1% of what's really there. The quantum field, this huge space of energy and frequency, exists beyond what we can sense. It's real, whether we know it or not. Now let me ask you, how much of your day do you spend thinking about physical stuff, about what you can see and touch? And how much time do you spend thinking about energy, frequency, and the hidden info inside it? I want to leave you with a hopeful message. Our world is full of possibilities, and we're not stuck with how things have always been or what's around us. We can go beyond what's normal and reach for something amazing. When we shift our focus from what we can see to what's inside us, from what's outside to what's inside, and from just trying to survive to making something new, we open up a world of chances we might never have thought possible. We can make our dreams come true faster, and we can be the ones in charge of our lives. It's a journey of discovering ourselves, mastering ourselves, and changing in big ways. By using the power of the quantum field and our thoughts, feelings, and intentions, we can change our reality and make a life that's exactly what we want it to be. You have the power to create your own life, and the possibilities are endless. Believe in this, and watch as your life turns into something beautiful and unexpected.